few minutes ago a disaster declaration for Harris County. That allows us to issue emergency purchase orders, contracts, for example, like debris removal that we might need. It allows us to receive additional logistical support from the state, and the governor has also offered a disaster declaration for the state of Texas. Right now, the main message for the community continues to be that we need folks to shelter in place and to stay where they are. We're seeing smaller amounts of rain now in the northeastern part, but still it adds up to the impacts that we've seen so far, and the rain continues to move. We'll have Jeff Linder in a little bit here to explain more details about the rain and about what areas are flooding. We also have a representative from the San Jacinto River Authority. We've received some questions about Lake Conroe. They have enough space, don't plan to release the lake, but he's here to answer questions. We are responding to rescues. Our fire marshal is here to provide additional information if needed, but we have rescued folks, over 1,000 people in the east side of town, 500 folks in the Spring area. We had, after Harvey, 160% increase in our high water rescue assets for all of law enforcement in Harris County. So that's allowed us to respond adequately to the calls we're receiving. We continue to direct folks to readyharris.org, where they have information about recovery, about closures, and about the work that we're continuing to do. The biggest message right now is that the danger continues as the rain continues to fall, and we need folks to remain at home, to remain off the road. I know that folks are heeding that advice. Most people are. Anybody who is thinking of going outside, please make sure that you stay indoors. That's the way to keep yourself safe. That's the way to keep our law enforcement and first responders safe as well. We are also opening 13 shelters with the Red Cross across Harris County. As those come online, we'll be putting the information at readyharris.org. I'll pass it on to Jeff Linder to give a weather update, then I'll repeat remarks in Spanish, and we'll be here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Jeff, would you mind checking the mic to make sure it's on the middle mic? One without a flag.
All right, Jeff Linder with the Harris County Flood Control District. We continue to have heavy rainfall. It is shifting to the south now into the Brays Bayou, Meyerland, Sugarland areas, and then a little bit further south down to the Pearland area. We are getting a little bit of a break, as the judge said, in the northeast part of the county, in the northern part of Harris County that was hit so hard early, the Aldine area, the Spring area, but we still have significant amount of water out there, and we still have a little bit of additional development up the 290 corridor. So we continue to have rainfall. This continues to be a life-threatening situation, and a flash flood emergency remains in effect at this time. So we need people to heed the advice we are given and stay where you're at. The most dangerous place right now for anybody to be is in a vehicle on any of the roads and getting yourself into a high water location on any of the roads. Talk briefly about the bayou situation. We have multiple bayous that are out of their banks in certain areas. And I'm going to start from the northeast part of the county and go down to the southwest part of the county. The east and west forks of the San Jacinto River, again, major flooding is expected on those starting tonight and lasting into tomorrow. Those are subdivisions east of US 59, the lower portions, the very lower portions of Kingwood, not all of Kingwood, but the lower portions of Kingwood near the river. The east fork of the San Jacinto River near FM 1485, Cedar Bayou from FM 1960 all the way down to Baytown. And there could be some flooding in the city of Baytown along Cedar Bayou later tonight and into tomorrow. Gum Gully in the northeast part of Harris County near the San Jacinto River. Gardner's Bayou in the Humble into the Beltway 8 area near Intercontinental Airport. That bayou is over banks. Little White Oak Bayou in Independence Heights. We do know there is some structure flooding occurring along Little White Oak Bayou just north of the 610 North Loop. Halls Bayou, we do have significant flooding along Halls Bayou near I-45 in West Mount Houston. The subdivisions that are included in this are Colonial Hills, the Belmont subdivision, and potentially the Hidden Valley subdivision. These are the areas right there around I-45 and West Mount Houston. Brickhouse Gully is over banks near US 290 and the Langwood subdivision. Homes are taking on water in that area. Lower White Oak Bayou is rising very rapidly near I-10 and I-45. It is possible that the bayou is going to exceed portions of I-10 and I-45, as we have seen in the past, right there where I-45 and I-10 come together north of downtown Houston. And so TxDOT is monitoring that very closely right now. And then the lower portion of Cypress Creek, this is the area east of Aldine Westfield, north of Intercontinental Airport. A couple other important points to make. Addicks and Barker reservoirs, the floodgates are closed. They are not releasing any water. There is plenty of capacity in those reservoirs to handle the rainfall that we are expecting. We are not expecting any flooding from Addicks and Barker reservoirs from the pools behind them, and there will not be any releases from those reservoirs based on the current rainfall that we've had or even the expected rainfall that we're expecting. And one other bayou to mention, Hunting Bayou on the east side of Houston. We do expect structure flooding possible in the Songwood subdivision. That's on the north side of I-10 where the bayou crosses I-10. And if Chuck would like to come up now and make a comment on the San Jacinto River and Lake Conroe, to cover Conroe.
Thank you. Chuck Gilman, San Jacinto River Authority. Although we have seen localized heavy rains in Montgomery County, majority of that rainfall has been to the east of I-45. Lake Conroe Reservoir and its watershed is north of the city of Conroe, so we started this event with a lake level of over 2 feet below our normal pool elevation, so there was capacity to begin with. And then our watershed has not received the rainfall intensity or duration that we've seen in southeastern Montgomery County and northeastern Harris County. So we have capacity in the reservoir and do not expect any releases at this time.